What's good, YouTube? And welcome to set and pre-sale review for Age of Overlord, one of the most hype sets by far of the season. A lot of people are expecting this to basically save the year along with the Rarity Collection, and I do think it's going to tear up the metagame a lot, but maybe for reasons people didn't initially expect. Over here for just $2 are the Tiger Dragon deck core, which is a playset of each, and code What's Good 5 for 5% off and support the channel directly will make it even cheaper. And I want to point out, Jeff Jones has been absolutely raving about these on Twitter. Yesterday, when they were leaked, he kind of made vague posts about how crazy they were, but couldn't talk about the specific cards. And today, he's in-depth, broken down. You definitely want to read through this, but I think it kind of smells like sniffing out BIS deals ahead on pre-sales where supers usually aren't too expensive. These seem to have a ton of potential, and at just $2 for both playsets, it seems pretty darn good. That being said, I have, of course, seen what's on screen. The Horus deck cores sold out earlier and have been priced back up. I refreshed and saw that was back in, but a little bit more expensive. And it looks like the Sinful Spoils are definitely what is the most expensive within this set. But let's go ahead and get into it after another shout out. I super do appreciate anybody using the codes. I had to take forced time off due to the crush card as well as family situations, but never feel pressured to use it on my behalf. Make sure you're not shopping with FOMO on pre-sales either. I want to do this disclaimer because a lot of cards end up falling down in price unless the set is super hyped, and it does seem like there's a lot of people bubbling and boiling towards this set, but many cards often come down during pre-sales. So kind of take a really educated approach in advance to what you are securing during pre-sales. But I wanted to also shout out Grimoire Accessories. My code will be live on their site when they launch tomorrow as well. They're going to be doing a relaunch of these playmats, the last ones, which they did announce on socials before when they initially put them up. Wow, these sold out fast. We're going to do one more of these colorways and then never again. And that's very interesting because I really like how some of these ended up turning out. Like, they are so vibrant, they feel so good. And they also have unique deck boxes based on historical artwork. So code What's Good 5 for 5% off and support the channel directly should be working over here, unless it's code What's Good 10. I just started with them. I'm pretty sure it's code What's Good 5, but I will check back in tomorrow because tier 0 pre-sales will also be up, but I wouldn't necessarily wait because Gamer's Choice has been really good and also selling out of certain things lately. In Age of Overlord, again, super hyped. I'm gonna come back to the deck cores after we know rarities and I educate myself a bit. I'm guessing it's every ultra and secret rare on the quarter century rares, and yeah, this gal is super hyped for high rarity, and the OCG 100 was way too little. I think it will definitely be heading above that. SP, I know Jesse Cotton did a video saying this is the card you want to look at in this set, and it looks like they priced down the yellow one of Magicians of Bond and Unity towards 150 to start, which I think is where the green is kind of floating, and this will probably be less desirable as the second one. But let's go ahead and see rarity spread first. Okay, so she is secret rare, and at 25, that's not the worst. They're pricing up the spell towards 60, the Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils 15, and sold out of the Labyrinth Butler. Yeah, as it being a secret rare and a huge update to the deck that you'll want, that makes a lot of sense that that would sell out. $80, and man, it's been a while since we've had a card that was like the price of a box plus. Again, I know Jesse said this is the card you want to be looking at out of the set, and it's got that generic 2-effect monster appeal. I see why. It's been a while since we've had a generic tool come in, and people are countering link summoning a lot too within side decks of recent history like Phantasme. It'll be interesting to see how it does implement itself. 2 of the Horus cards are secret rare, makes a bit more sense on why it's priced how it is. 30, okay, so that's 90 for a playset, and then another towards 120. Visas here at 15. We've got the Snake Eyes and 2 TG cards for the rest of the secret rares. It seems like they went for estimated value chop up pull instead of being overall greedy as usual, although there are 2 very notably priced cards here, and that's what lets the rest of them be quote-unquote cheaper during pre-sales. I do agree that generic, and then, you know, this is like a searcher, right? Add the 1, yes, from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target one of your Sinful Spoils, spells, and traps that is banished in the graveyard, except for itself. Place it on the bottom of the deck, and you draw a card. You can only use each effect once per turn. Very insane searcher card and a quick play. Okay, Okay, so yeah, it makes sense why they would price that up versus the waifu, but the waifu, she might be a little underpriced for what she is if we're looking at how the OCG has been treating it. Zeus, yep, meet your dark side, $20. It might be towards the top of the ultras. Let's actually sort. That's best selling. Let's go high to low. King Sarcophagus is the next ultra at 10, so they're not giving a lot of heed to any of the ultra choices in here, it looks like, for this round, and ultras would have been very, very underestimated on the previous pre-sales. They're not the most per case. There's so many different ultras. I think it's 14? Yeah, it's 14, and then you have only 4 per box, so the ratio is not the best on pulling ultras overall per case. King Sarcophagus is next, makes sense, horse stuff, and then you have the Sinful Spoil stuff, Manadium, Vanquish Soul. He just looks so cool. He has all there is. And then going through, I know a lot of people were hyping up Infernal Flame Banshee here, and she's only $3. Okay. We got Zark, yep. Over here, it's Odd Eyes, but it's Zark. And yeah, so the ultras are interestingly a bit cheaper than I thought they would be for pre-sales outside of the Zeus copy that people will want. And 20 does seem relatively fair, unfortunately, for this card. It might get down a little cheaper, $16.50, etc. But I have a feeling this might sell out on pre-sales. It'll be interesting to see where it goes from there. Super rares. Well, we already saw that they're not putting the crazy generic guys Jeff is rambling about, and the pendulum is $1. Everything's $1. Yeah, James on his estimated value pulled chop up. I would not do this with my pre-sales. If I'm being completely forthright and honest, I would be pricing up some of these and laying into the hype. I think this is absolutely amazing that everything is $1 or less, just going for that estimated chop up and letting people pick out what they want. And then you have the commons. There is a new Pit Knight that I haven't gotten to read yet. That was interesting to me. Also, Angelica's Angelic Ring here. Okay. And then the One Piece stuff that a lot of people actually bought on the last shout out. A lot of people seem to appreciate their prices on their products. So do check that out if you're a One Piece fan. But you're here for Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, Jeff Jones completely ranting and raving about these two and saying that people are going to figure them out, that he's probably already said too much. But when you're in those, top circles and want to keep talking to people, you can't say that much more. It makes a lot of sense. I definitely would not have priced these this low, period. I definitely think when they're already all 99 cents a piece and you did this deal, that's kind of wild, but Gamer's Choice is doing it big. The Sinful Spoils being so expensive, it's not that expensive for new deck cores. Usually when we're talking about a hype set, multiple secret rares, the estimated value pulled, you have to remember it's only 2.4 of each secret rare per case, and the quarter century rares are helping with some of that value. It should just be the ultras and secrets. Let's actually go ahead and do these top to bottom as well, because a lot of people will be looking for this on value. And yeah, the Zeus copy gone, SP Little Knight is gone, and yeah, the Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils and the waifu is gone. Oh yeah, people ate up every single one that should be towards the top of the set. And individually, since these are pulled at 3 per case, 1 out of every 4 boxes on average, if we're continuing the same as last time, you're looking at 1 per 8.33 repeating cases for an individual quarter century rare on average across case pulls. And that means there's still about as hard to get as individual Starlights, and I think the junk ones will continue to become more junk, and the good ones will continue to go up. It's a bit lazy to just make them the ultras and secrets only and no import now, the Magician's a Bond of Unity, but I kind of think that the rarity collection is why a lot of those got slurped. But we're here for pre-sales. I know I had to explain it all, okay? When it comes down to these, I think these are extremely well priced overall. You have a waifu generic, you have a big boss Daddy Zeus that's 1 per 8.33 cases. I think this will be probably in use and probably head up towards 2 to 250, extremely fair. A 3 of Searcher draw card, along with the waifu of the good deck that is hyped. The Labyrinth Starlight quarter century rare for all intents and purposes, and then the Horus stuff is oh so freaking hyped. I think Horus is overhyped, if I'm honest. Don't shoot the messenger. I think it's a little overhyped for what it is, which is why it's priced so under everything else here. Sorry, Age of Overlord back here. So let's go back to high to low. I feel like that's why the deck core is so under, though, this, right? I want to say that this set, having so much hype behind it, likely will push it early. I don't think we're going to see it truly settle / true prices also explode until 2 to 3 weeks out, because if you remember with hype sets like Eternity Code and Rise of the Duelist, certain cards continued to stonk and go up, and this feels like it's got that hype behind it, but a lot of money is also going to go into the rarity collection after this from Duels, which will leave this to cool off a little, except that's a bunch of reprints where these are a bunch of original cards that are going to continue on through our WCQ season that will be changing things within the metagame. Oh, also, why I haven't talked much about the Testenia is I'm just taking Jeff's word at it without reading them yet. Rip those who were hoping for it to be good, cool looking cards, another terrible theme. I have a lot of faith in Jeff usually when it comes to calls. He's not omnipotent, he's not always right, but when he speaks, he is a lot more often right than wrong, and also he kind of has that game designer perspective into cards. I'm not gonna fully discount them till I read them, but that's why I haven't touched on them much during this video, if you were wondering about those and you tuned in also for the set. I want to say that, again, I think Horus might be a little overhyped. A lot of people are very hyped for it, though, and its resource game does seem maybe like I'm underestimating it like I did with Eldritch, so that could be on my player brain. I'm most looking forward to the generic cards first, Sinful Spoils second, and I just don't buy into the Magicians of Bond and Unity as much as a modern collectible, but there will be multiple of them. This should be the only way it gets printed in theory, so very 10,000 Dragon-like, and maybe is able to go with those Dark Magician kind of collections in the future, because that's what it represents, and it could age well over a very long time, but I feel like in the immediate, there's probably going to be better chances to end up buying those. I know I'm one of the only market you could, hey, don't buy this yet. You know, I like to tell people to slow down and consider. 80, again, initial knee-jerk reaction is, oof, that seems steep. I wish it was 60, but so many people are saying this is the card of the set, followed by the Zeus and then the other stuff. But I want to point out again that $2 playset, I might be getting that during pre-sales if I was you. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch pre-sale review, whatever you want to call it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. Remember code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly over here, as well as tomorrow's drop, Grimoire accessories. I don't have a time for you. They didn't get back to me, so don't go too crazy refreshing the pages. I'll try to shout it out on Twitter when it's live, as well as be doing a video tomorrow for Tier Zero's pre-sales should they be going up tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody.